morning, everyone. I am truly honored to have the opportunity to represent the class of 2021. Thank you to the families and friends who are joining us today to celebrate this long-awaited virtual ceremony. My name is Ebelechukwu Eseka. I am a Ghanaian Nigerian immigrant, and I came to the United States with my mother and brother a little over 7 years ago. When I presented my passport at LAX, the TSA officer didn't even attempt to pronounce my name, Ebelechukwu. At that moment, in the words of novelist Vic Nguyen, America ruined my name for me. For her convenience, perhaps mine also, I became Veronica. This new American identity symbolized the larger struggles that awaited me. Veronica was timid. Veronica was insecure. During my first quarter as a freshman at UCSB, my Promise Scholar advisor, Dr. Holly Roos, referred me to Joe O'Brien, an academic counselor, for help with changing my major. I know we've all been there, and some of us have made multiple trips, but that's okay, because we made it to the finish line. What O'Brien did next was unexpected. Instead of discussing my major, he insisted on getting to know me, an African girl whom no one noticed before then. When we were done talking, I held back tears because I'd spent 30 minutes listening to a stranger telling me how unique I was and how bright my future would be. I didn't believe him. I didn't. As I reached for the door to leave, he said, "One last question. Why do you see yourself as inadequate?" Why? Y'all, that question haunted me for the rest of the year, scripted on multiple sticky notes in my dorm. Well, class of 2021, some of you may have heard the phrase imposter syndrome. The syndrome that has you anxiously looking over your shoulders in fear of being outed as a fraud, that my disguise was going to fall off to expose the timid and insecure Veronica. The syndrome that leaves you second-guessing your place in the classroom, your research labs, and high-achieving internships. Can you believe this syndrome hitched a ride on my carry-on and followed me to my internship in the United States Senate at Washington, D.C.? Well, it is that syndrome that told me I, Ebelechukwu, was inadequate. And I know without a shadow of doubt that many of you listening to me today from across the world have been crippled by this syndrome before. I know what you feel, but I also know that Joe O'Brien was right. I am certainly not inadequate. During the last 4 years, I have worked hard to manage my imposter syndrome, and I am proud of how far I have come. I became a published author. Not of a book, well, at least not yet. But my first independent research article is published in the Undergraduate Research and Creative Activities Journal. I started a mentorship program that piloted with 40 mentors and over 90 freshmen. I worked with the Office of the Registrar on a proposal to update Gold that received almost $170,000 from the Student Fee Advisory Committee. I mean, the list could go on, but that is not the point. The point is we are more than our insecurities, and the class of 2021 is not inadequate. In the last 4 years, our class has persevered through raging fires, mudslides, a storm in sunny Santa Barbara, how ironic, the Black Lives Matter movement on racial injustice in the midst of a public health pandemic. Through uncertainty, disparity, and loss, we have continuously risen to the top. Our resilience is why we are here today, receiving our degrees from this top research university. This graduation is a surreal moment, a moment many of us have dreamt about for years, a dream many of us were forced to let go over the past year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So, I want all of us to take a deep breath and let this moment sink in. You did it, and you deserve to pridefully walk across this stage or your living room. Let this moment symbolize hope that normalcy would return. But in the meantime, do not let go of any dream you have. It may seem far-fetched, but you have already walked the foundational steps. During this transition, rejections and other setbacks may interfere, but they are only redirections to your true calling, as a much bolder Ebelechukwu soon discovered. Bold enough to tell the naturalization officer during my citizenship interview a couple months ago that I would not be changing my name and I would only be answering to Ebelechukwu. As we leave our Isla Vista bubble, know that you cannot be defined by a GPA, a degree, or a career. Only you can define yourself. Know who you are, know your name, and don't answer to anything else. Thank you.